While no one has banned us from using cash, getting cash seems to be increasingly difficult.
And customers in some locations can no longer withdraw money over the counter.
In the last 6 years, 60% of ATMs in Australia have completely disappeared.
Hundreds of ATMs in Victoria are being scrapped.
Across the whole of Australia, there are only just over 5,500 ATMs left.
This is like having a cash ban by stealth.
I think that part of that stealthness was the COVID-19 pandemic.
The pandemic has accelerated Australia closer to a cashless society.
One of the most successful things they did in terms of their determination to get rid of cash was to reframe cash as dirty.
Money changes hands all the time, but can it carry the coronavirus? The short answer is most likely.
That then forced businesses to stop accepting cash during COVID. And we were also, during COVID, locked into our homes. So our ability to access cash was also forcibly taken away from us. What we're talking about here, when you have cash, you have a unit of exchange in your hand. So effectively, the consumer, you and I, we have the power to do what we want with that unit of exchange, a physical unit of exchange. And they're talking about getting completely rid of that. And so what happens then is the power and the control of our own money shifts from us to the banks and, of course, by proxy, to the government. I don't think that the general Australian on the street realises how vulnerable we are when they take away our access to our own savings and our own money.
Do you carry cash?
No, I just don't need it anyway.
When all transactions become digital, do you think the government will start trying to coerce you into doing, how to behave?
Not in Australia, but I think in other countries potentially, but I'm not going to fight against that.
One thing that people may not be aware of and is less talked about but is more dangerous, and that is the idea of a bank bail-in.
Bank accounts are being raided. People's savings are being seized. Not a bailout, but a bail-in, with bank customers bearing the burden.
What it boils down to is if a bank finds itself in trouble, what they can do is they can draw on the savings and the money of their customers. So they can use their customers' money to bail themselves out of trouble.
We can't get anything from our accounts, everything is blocked.
This is legal. It has happened twice in Cyprus and in Italy and Spain in 2017. It was successful in Italy and in Spain. However, it was unsuccessful in Cyprus. And what that meant is that those customers lost their savings.
People have worked hard for years, for their whole lifetime, to save some money. And then overnight, they lose it. This is not fair.
It's almost as if these people know that something bad is going to happen soon, and they don't want the public to be able to take back control of their finances and their cash.
Important that people understand they can be bailed in, but you don't want a huge run on the institution, but they're going to be. I almost think you'd scare the public if you put this out. Like, why are they telling me this? Should I be concerned about my bank? Like, my insurance company doesn't tell me what they're doing with my assets. If they just assume they're going to pay my claim. Right? I think you've got to think of the unintended consequences.
What happens is once the government gets control of our money, and then they combine that with Medicare, when they combine that with ATO, and all of our digital IDs all together, all of that is going to be put together and integrated into one digital pass. So your money, your ID, everything is going to be in one place. You're going to need to use that to get a mortgage, to apply for a lease, get a car, get your kids into school, into university, everything. And ultimately, what does that leave you with? It's authoritarianism, it really is. It's complete and utter surveillance and control by our government.